Welcome back. It was a crime which pushed everything else off the front pages. 3 men, all known criminals, found shot dead in the Essex countryside. It was a cold-blooded, professional killing. The victims had many enemies, but which one wanted them executed?
And welcome back to a new video on the Essex Boys case. As always, if you are enjoying the content, please do give the video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in the Essex Boys case, or simply true crime in general, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Issue 15. It is submitted that Donna Jaggers' witness statement, dated the 14th of the 3rd, 1996, contradicts her account as reported by D.I. Florence in his report dated the 8th of the 12th, 95, and the police message M93, also dated the 8th of the 12th, 95. The Commission has considered Miss Jaggers' witness statement dated the 14th of March, 1996, report R4 by ex-D.I. Florence and police message M93. The Commission notes that the CPS disclosed report R4 in slightly redacted form to the applicants before their trial on the 11th of April 1997. It was forwarded to Defence Counsel on the 23rd of April 1997. It follows that report R4 was available to be utilised in the applicants' appeal hearings in 1999 and 2006. In any event, the Commission does not consider Miss Jaggers' account as described in report R4 to be inconsistent with her trial evidence. The Commission notes that message M93 refers to Miss Jaggers last seeing Mr. Rolfe on the morning of the 6th of December 1995, rather than at around 5:45 on the evening of the 6th of December, as she stated in her trial evidence. The applicants have not informed the Commission when message M93 was disclosed to them, but the Commission recognises that it could have been used in cross-examination of Miss Jaggers at trial if it had been available to the defence at that stage. The Commission has considered the apparent inconsistency between the times referred to in message M93 and Miss Jaggers' trial evidence. The Commission takes the view, however, in the context of the rest of Miss Jaggers' evidence, that any such inconsistency does not give rise to a real possibility that a Court of Appeal would find Miss Jaggers to have been unreliable in her account. In the context of the rest of the evidence in this case, the Commission does not consider that message M93 is capable of giving rise to a real possibility that a Court of Appeal would overturn the convictions if the case were referred now. Issue 16. Mr. Steele submits that on the 6th of December 1995, since it was, quote, rush hour on a snow-driven night, end quote, Mr. Tate could not have travelled from the Halfway House pub at 18:30, where Nichols claims to have seen him, to Workhouse Lane at 18:44, where he is alleged to have been when he received a call from Sarah Saunders. It is also submitted that Tate could not have travelled from his home address to the Halfway House pub in the 24 minutes between the last call to Claire Carey and Nichols' alleged sighting of Tate at 18:30. Issue 17. Raymond Wright, a witness who gave evidence at trial, described a Range Rover turning into Workhouse Lane at approximately 1900 hours on the 6th of December 1995. The description of this vehicle did not match that of the Range Rover that the 3 deceased were discovered in on the 7th of December 1995. As the applicants acknowledge, Mr. Wright gave evidence at trial. His evidence was also relied upon at page 30 of Mr. Steele's Grounds of Appeal, 22nd of June 1998. Mr. Wright's account does not constitute new evidence or argument for the Commission's purposes. The argument that the Range Rover, which was witnessed by Mr. Wright, was not that of the victims, was explored in cross-examination at trial. Issue 18. The cannabis, which was alleged to have been found in the rigid inflatable boat. It is submitted that police message M622, which formed part of the unused material at trial, contradicts the Crown's version of events as presented at trial by witnesses Daphne Lidstone and John Willier in relation to how traces of cannabis were found in the rigid inflatable boat. The Commission acknowledges that the version of events contained in this message is factually inconsistent with the Crown's case at trial, in that it was never contended that cannabis was discovered in the rib on the 8th of November, nor was it contended that the drugs were discovered by a sniffer dog. Message M622 could, therefore, have been used in cross-examination of the Crown's witnesses in relation to this issue. However, in the context of the case as a whole, the Commission does not consider that this message, which was available at trial in any event, gives rise to a real possibility that the convictions would be overturned by the Court of Appeal if the case were referred now. Although there is an arguable inconsistency, it does not show that the Crown's trial version of how the cannabis was discovered must be false, or that state agents were responsible for planting the cannabis in the rib. In support of their allegation that officers of HM Customs and Excise planted the cannabis which was found in the rib on the 10th of November, the applicants point out that the amount said to have been discovered was similar in quantity to that seized from the home of Gordon Stevens from his beach property known as Feronia on the 8th of November. The applicants also rely upon the fact that no drugs were found when the rib was subjected to a rigorous search on the 8th. The Commission has considered the submission that the drugs were planted by Customs and Excise, but notes that there remains no evidence that this actually occurred. This submission is an unsubstantiated allegation which, in the absence of any evidence, cannot form the basis of a referral to the Court of Appeal. Issue 19. Request for further disclosure in relation to possible alternative suspects. The applicant submits that police intelligence from 1995 and 1996 suggested that Paul Edwards, Ray Sullivan and Michael Bowman were involved in a, quote, plot to kill Tate, Tucker and Rolfe. The applicants point out that Paul Edwards drove a Range Rover in December 1995. It is suggested that this may be the vehicle which was seen entering Workhouse Lane by Raymond Wright, and that shortly before the murders he had, quote, fallen out with Mr. Tucker. The applicants request disclosure of any new information that the Commission has obtained in that regard. The Commission has considered this submission and request, but can confirm that no new information has been discovered in relation to Edwards, Sullivan or Bowman, or of a plot to kill Tate, Tucker and Rolfe by any alternative suspects which has not previously been disclosed to the applicants.